Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Satoshi Sean, glad you're here. Glad to be hanging out with you. Today I'm going to do an interview with Flo from Kanaloa.
I did.
What he told me about the project looks really, really cool. So I wanted to get some information from Flo. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Yeah, let's get started. I'm Florian Pfeiffer. I'm the head of business operations at the Kanaloa network, and I'm living in Switzerland. So that's also our basically base of operations for the moment.
I had a question about that because I had heard you mentioned it was the where you're at. They want to be the head of like the hub for crypto.
Yes, yes. Zug is the city where I'm living, and Zug has a history of being a very, let's say, nice place to start a business. So they started that, they harbored Mark Rich of Glencore during the time he was haunted by Mossad and the CIA. So a lot of buildings here are from him, and it's kind of weird knowing who he is, and he's like, here's just normal. But knowing that they have a focus on being upfront, right, and being on the verge of technology and stuff like that, so they stated, I think about 2 years ago, that they want to become the crypto hotspot #1 in the world, meaning they support you if you start a business, not like the government comes and gives you money or something like that, but yeah, they help you out. You can work with the local governance, the responsible parties, and they tell you basically you have to look into this, you have to look into this, and you can do that, and you can that. So it's very supportive from the structure here. Also, the community, now talking the city community itself, is very crypto friendly. Let's say you can pay your taxes already in Bitcoin and Ether here in town. A lot of shops accept a vast variety of crypto. You can even use Kana here in town to pay for certain things, like at the food store and at the tattoo shop that did my arm. So yeah, people use crypto in the daily thing. So it's easy to talk to people about crypto and stuff like that. So
that's awesome, and I've noticed a big change with and that's something I hadn't thought of, that when it comes to governments, city governments have really taken charge and are making a move. Like here in the United States, you got Miami, New York.
That's what came to mind this first. Yeah, Miami.
But really, it's not the federal government, not even state government. I mean, Texas. I live in Texas, and our governors really push crypto and blockchain. But I think that's the level where these larger cities are kind of taking a stand, and they're leading the countries. It's really cool. It's very cool.
They are. It's the same here. To make a quote unquote small history lesson, the city was the poorest district in Switzerland after World War II. Mm-hmm. So and now it's the richest, and that came from there were different factors. Again, the progressive view on business is a major part, but also the tax structure. There are already laws how to tax crypto, so there isn't this, what I'm going to do, or it's already clear. It's pretty simple, but it's already clear how everything is taxed, right? At the same time, they realized, again, it's very simplified, but to make it simple, taking 5% of somebody that has 1 million is still much more to finance your city than taking 20% of from someone that has 10K. Mm-hmm. So the taxes are low here in town, which attracts a lot of business, and that's also why, in my opinion, the cities pushing regulations and laws in that direction, because it keeps them alive, and they want to be attractive to businesses and stuff like that. And crypto is a huge frontier, right?
Yeah, that is something we all need. Is just clarity, so everybody knows where we're.
That's what I'm always saying. I mentioned that a lot, but I hear a lot of this, oh no, regulations. And it's not, no. I'm very, very happy with regulations, because then it's clear what I can do. The lack of regulations, what those regulations in the end be, is the next discussion, right? But having them is, from a business perspective, a very good thing, because it gives you a clear structure and it lets you plan ahead more than 3 months. And
yeah, also, you never know. I mean, when it comes to governments, they can enact something crazy, 2 months
exactly
down the road. Yeah, it's for consumers' protection as well as for the government, just so we know that no one can pull a fast one on us. This is what's expected. We've done it. We're fine. Leave us alone.
So yeah, so that's exactly that. I mean, to which investors that aren't familiar with the speed of crypto, you can go and ask them, so yeah, we have this business idea, do you like to invest? And then say, what's your 5-year plan? So we don't have a 5-year plan because we have no clue how the industry is going to look in 5 years, or if it's even and
I've been on the other side where I've helped build projects, and a lot of times if you go to traditional investors or even traditional institutions, they're just scared. They're
exactly.
Like, we don't know about it. We don't want to mess with it. We don't know.
So that sounds it's I don't know it, so it must be a problem. And so I'm happy we have the location at the moment. We have Trumi here because it's not like I can do what I want, but the rules are pretty clear, and the people making the rules are interested in making an attractive environment, and that's very cool for us.
Usually I ask someone how they first got into crypto. You come from a much more artistic background. Can I go over how you got into everything?
I came into crypto. I was a startup consultant, like for 7 or 8 years now, and working in a family business. And we have successfully started a lot of startups in the past 20 years. And before I did that, I was an insurance broker, mostly working with small businesses and pension funds. And that gave me kind of the necessary know-how to know basically how to invest a few bucks without going aping into anything, right? That what got me started in crypto. And I am a creative writer. I produced a comic book. And then that was basically one and one that came together with 90%. The big aftermarket for comic books is original pages, original artwork, which is physical. And at the same time, like I say, 70 or 80%, getting more day by day, artists start working digitally, which makes sense because it's much more efficient, especially if you have to push out 20 pages a month or stuff like some of DC or Marvel artists have to do. So to make a long story short, they lose a huge amount of income because nobody's going to buy a JPEG for $200, or aren't they? So for me, it was like clear, okay, but if I start my comic book and if I do this, NFTs are the way to go. This gives my artists the possibility to profit off the work afterwards, and it's another first, right? It gets me. We were the first NFT comic book ever, and the rest. Then I found the team of Kanaloa when it was in its infancy and in the concept phase and stuff like that, and got in there. And the mixture of people we have in there is we have a developer, which is he found all the experimental tech we are using. So, and he's the big brain ideas about how to set up the network and stuff like that. Combined with somebody who has very, so we call him Papa, and Papa has very much connections around the networks, especially AVOX and stuff like that, so he knows people. And me and Cream knowing the basis of business. And I just told you I didn't ape into stuff, but I was pretty successful because I started I looked into crypto before, but I started buying crypto when the pandemic hit. My first crypto buy was buying Bitcoin at 3K or 3.5K when everything dumped to shit when the pandemic hit. And through that or other degen move, so I had the capital to start a project and the idea that was there. And again, I'm coming from small business, so the technical barrier that's there to you basically, if you have a crypto idea here in town, a lot of people have crypto ideas. You need $100,000 or something like that for programmers to set something up that works. That doesn't include daily operations. That doesn't include the company or marketing or anything. So the standard that the developer found, my artistic background and knowing how intellectual property works, plus the need to simplify everything, is basically what has born Kana in the end.
You're aimed to do a lot with Kanaloa. Can you just give us a broad overview, and then I want to hit on some of the cool tech things that you're doing. You said experimental or revolutionary kind of technologies. But if you just give a brief overview first, so we can talk about that first.
Okay, yeah, sure. We are the Kanaloa network part comes from we are building a network of products, a platform and an end user platform, which will be based off our main product, which is a token generator. Sounds simple, but there comes the experimental tech we're going to talk afterwards about comes into play there. So we have some twists and new standards we like to popularize through the token generator, which is one part, followed by a marketplace for NFTs that will allow launchpad functions, cross-chain functions are planned. So to then basically home our own network NFTs. And that's the next big step. From the beginning, we wanted to combat the meme that, again, NFTs are expensive JPEGs, which everybody that knows something about coding and something about smart contract knows this isn't true. But yeah, it's still a myth that's out there and hard to combat. So for us, it was very important that all the NFTs we are producing have a specific function within the network. Be it access to rewards, be it access to privileges, be it governance functions and stuff like that. So these NFTs not only look pretty, they do look pretty, but they not only look pretty, but also work as keys for people actually invested into the network and therefore rewarding those participants. Those are basically the main two parts. We then building out into schooling. We have a program that's the Kanaloa Academy, because again, it's about breaking down the technical barriers. One part is education. We want not only to teach people about our tech, but also how to be safe in the space. Because there are some, everybody knows there are some problems in the space and there are some, let's say, traps you can fall into. So educating the community is another part. Plus the fourth leg we have will be, and that's the brainchild of our developer, will be called the Kanaloa Labs, which is an experimental platform where developers and users can basically test new tech without sending it to the mainnet, basically. So this is more, it's more for the developers and for like experienced users, but it's new farming stuff, some reflective NFTs we have created, stuff like that will start first there. We will test it there, and then once
kind of like a sandbox kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the goal in the end. But yeah, not limiting us to basically like a game sandbox or something like that. But whatever your idea is, if it's doable with our contract and it sounds interesting, we're probably gonna run a test on that. So that's the idea.
Well, that's really cool. That's very interesting. The website's really awesome, by the way. It's you can tell you're really artistic because it's awesome.
Oh, thanks a lot. At that point, shout out to the artist Don Mark. He's the artist that drew all 48 pages of my book, and also worked for Marvel as a subcontractor before. So I'm very happy to have him. We started as
you have a comic now, though, don't you, on the site?
We have on our NFT partner site, we have 4 pages also drawn by the same team. That's about the Kanaloa network, where we drop some hints, what's coming and stuff like that in a fictional universe, because we are all nerds in the end. Yeah. And and this is more like a fun part, it's for the community, and we drop hints in there and stuff like that. These are all not official announcement or anything, but if you're part of the community, if you're up to date, and if you read the books, you're probably going to pick up on what's coming next. But the artist that did all the website work and all the NFTs we have launched so far, he drew a book for me. Give me a second, 1 second.
Okay. We'll take this time to tell you to crush the like button and to comment and make sure you subscribe so you're entered into Win Crypto. I'm going to be giving away some NFTs this week also, and next week. So make sure you comment. All you do is comment to be entered into Win NFTs, and that'll be on the Crypto Lunch Break on the new show.
So he drew a complete comic for me. So he's a professional comic book artist, and he does all the artwork for our website, for our NFTs and stuff like that. So.
Also, I think it's cool how you're creating the universe there with the lore and everything.
Yeah, that's probably basically my part of the brainchild. I'm a creative writer. I write books and comics and stuff like that. So telling tech updates posting tech updates is kind of boring. So packing it into a story and having some fun on the way was was the idea behind it. It's all non-official. It's all not because
I like it. It's a very cool way to make boring stuff fun.
Yeah, it's just to have fun on the side, right?
Now on the token generator, if you could go over that, it's weird, but you're simplifying things for everybody, which is that's what I like the most. That you're kind of opening it up to more people and to the masses, but instituting something that's easier to build on because it's modular, and then it's better, in a lot of ways, but it's much more simple for people to use. I really do like that.
Yeah, we are using the EAP 2535 standard. It's called Diamond standard by NIMIQ. I hope I don't butcher his name. He invented the standard or the proposal for the standard, and it allows you basically to not need proxy contracts. It allows you to build everything on a modular basis. This has multiple, let's say, good things about it. On one side, again, what we mentioned in the beginning, regulations. Something that might be okay in your smart contract today might not be okay in your smart contracts in 5 years. Are you gonna burn your $500 million market cap project and migrate your token to a new contract because you messed it up, or have to go through DAO votes or stuff like that to get a proposal done, not accepted by the community, not understanding the issue? That's huge. That's huge problem. Same as the market situation changes. We all know crypto goes in cycles, right? I'm not only talking bull bear cycles, but we had the DeFi rush, and we are now in the NFT rush and stuff like that. So something that may be profitable now for a project would need a separate contract to add to your company, to your project. With the EIP 2535 standards, that's not the case. All functions get called through the contract itself and can be built modular upon that. So it allows you then to basically adopt your contract to situations needed on the way. At the same time, you save a lot of programming and what most people don't know. There's a limit for data on a smart contract, and the EIP 2535 standard also quote unquote solves that problem, because all your smart contract does is calling functions in the end, which allows you to put much more in there and basically, again, build it modular, build small pieces that you then can call and work together and stuff like that, which allows you to extend your project in a 5 to 10 year basis. We are doing that with our first version of the token generator has, I think, 4 buttons you can click. So it's very, very, very simple. We will then be adding new modules as time comes, which also keeps us up to date, but also keeps the token generator up to date. And it's about to simplify. So you don't have to know anything about programming, and you can start an EIP 25 smart contract. No issues. You just use our website and you're done. At the same time, the standard isn't widely known yet, but we believe it's the future of smart contracts. So one clientele is people that want to have an idea and want to start something, but don't have the capability to program it themselves. The other is programmers that want to use the EIP 2535 standard and don't want to mess with writing it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's
really opening it up to.
The biggest one we have is ownership of your contract. We fixing that by making it an NFT. Our contracts make it or bind the ownership to an NFT that then can be held by any wallet. Mm-hmm. It can be sold, it can be transferred, so you can basically sell your project. You can set up a project and then sell it, right? Like startup companies do. You also don't have to renounce your ownership. You just can burn the NFT and stuff like that. So it opens up a huge possibility of governance. It's the same. It works with the same with that. Kana is already an EIP 2535 contract, and we are doing basically the same. We are building the complete contract, and once we are done building the base infrastructure, we are giving the power back to a DAO. And then every changes done to the network and the Kana contract itself will be governed by the DAO and going through that first. So the community then can decide where to go with it. And that's basically what we like to bring forward, because it's a huge issue. You have 2 options. I mean, we all ran away from banks because we don't trust them. Mm-hmm. Only then to come here and either have to buy a project that has a renounced contract, which basically means it's frozen. You cannot change it, which I talked before is a huge problem with everything that's coming. Or you have to trust some people. So it's a paradox, right? With this solution going from setting it up to auditing to DAO governance goes much faster and works trustless. So you can look at the code and look if it works and don't have to trust anyone. And that's still I think the essence of crypto is still the trustlessness of how things should work, right? So we try to stay true to that.
Is that what you're talking about when you're talking about use case NFTs?
that's one part of it. The other one you can see on the website we have 6 NFTs at the moment. We are giving out 4 of them we already gave out, which are keys to the network. And we have a fee redistribution system. So the token generator, for example, will be paid in Kana. And the Kana, a part of it gets burned. So Kana itself will be deflatory. And the rest gets redistributed to stacking pools. And to get access to those stacking pools, you need the corresponding NFTs. This guarantees that farmers don't drain your reward pools and dump it on the market. Same goes for the governance token. To farm the governance token next year, you need a certain NFT. This NFT was only given out to people providing liquidity over a certain amount of time in a certain amount of US dollar or Kana. So this, we call it the proof of commitment concept. And yeah, this guarantees basically that there is a hurdle for those keys to overcome, that we can guarantee to the network that the people involved in the benefits of it are people involved in the network and are people interested in the benefit of the network. So you won't be able to basically do an unfriendly takeover via being a whale and buying out the DAO and then just voting it to shit. I saw that in projects happening, so that's something we try to consider. So you only get access to the farming mechanism of the governance token via those NFTs. We gave out 150 or something like that, and I think they trade for the highest class trades for 100K or so. Not sure if anybody bought one until now, but yeah, there is it's not worth buying an NFT for 100K just to mess with a DAO, right? So these are some of the steps. Also to reward the community. I mean, you're giving them out now at the $1 million market cap and below, because we want to give it to the early adopters and to the people in the community that were there since day one, and also we're giving them out over 6 months. So you can participate in one of the challenges, you can participate in 2 of the challenges, but if you want to have access to all of the benefits of the network, you're gonna have to be here for some time, which again protects in the end the user base, because you can hold Kana and don't have to fear again that someone drains farms and then just dumps on you and stuff like that. We try to build barriers there to protect the community, because we were all, I'm guessing it happened to me at least, we were all part of some community that whales dumped on because they could. And we're all in crypto because we want to run away from the big guys. So this happening, and for me as a project leader, it's especially hard. For me, I can take a hit, but having to check the community chat and see people basically losing their $500 they saved up because some whale had to dump on them, it's this hurts my feelings. So we are building some sorts of barriers and stuff like that to keep that from happening. Can we guarantee it? Of course not, but yeah, we're trying our best.
Well, it's pretty cool. And on the NFT platform, this is what's really important to me, is that you're going to try and go to Crosschain NFT marketplace as soon as possible.
Yes, we are building the marketplace at the moment. We are looking into that and working with we need to onboard a bigger team, and that's something we're working on at the moment. And yes, the goal is to be cross-chain. We have already talked to somebody that has a great solution for that. So that was a great experience today. And again, the partners we have with Elk, I cannot stress that enough. Elk Finance is an amazing partner helping us out with their cross-chain solutions. And yet that will allow us to rather soonish get that running and give the people the possibility to move their NFTs from A to B and backwards. Yeah.
And I love how you use the Nebula. That's
yeah, that's something our product developer came up with, and yeah, we kind of like it. We have the whole Space Monster theme because Kanaloa, the name comes from the Hawaiian mythology, and Kanaloa is basically a proto-god that's the last survivor from the old universe creating our universe. And he's a space kraken, which we found super cool because we had the space kraken as our mascot in mind from the beginning. So this was like perfect. Knowing that, we created a bunch of space monsters in, let's say, Lovecraftian horror style, right? So these are all planet-sized monsters. We don't deal with like small monsters. These are all planet-sized, moon-sized monsters. And yeah, the token generator, we trying to break down the technical barrier, all led to the Nebula comparison, because I'm guessing you know a Nebula is a nursery for stars, and that's what we are trying to be. It's like we want to be the nursery for the projects of tomorrow that change crypto.
Yeah, I thought it was a good analogy. It really was very apropos. What do you guys have coming up for end of the year and next year?
For end of the year, we are working on high pressure. We are a bit behind schedule, so that's we were able to keep up with the roadmap for the first 3 quarters 100%, and now working full on the a bit delayed, but in tech terms still okay, of the release of the first token generator, the first version of that. So version 1 of the token generator, and hopefully even the first edition of the first module are planned before end of the year. Followed then by, at the same time, 2 of the new competitions are running. Also for people getting in new, the new competition gets announced tomorrow, which will, to spoil it a bit, will allow people to catch up. Let's say it this way. So if you like to get in the NFTs, but are afraid you're too late, end of the year we're doing a special that will allow people to catch up. So that's a big part we have planned. And the marketplace is then marketplace, and especially the marketplace including the launchpad. We again want to be able to present the NFT launchpad that will allow you to launch your collection, and will in a pre-sale form. We are giving you a base to start. You can use our marketplace as a home base in form like reflections and stuff like that should then work on there. So you can, instead of needing to build your own website, you can do it via the Kanaloa marketplace. And at the same time, we're giving users the access to, again, pre-sales and stacking, maybe winning some NFTs and stuff like that. So that's like the goal for Q1 and 2.
Also, that is Q1, Q2. That's very, very cool. Well, will you be able to issue NFTs on BSC?
Yes, we have split, the marketplace is basically split into 3 main updates at the moment, which the launchpad will be the last one of that, probably end of Q2. I don't want to stress our development team, so I'm going to say Q3, just to be safe. And the first version that's planned to go out as soon as the token generator is finished. The main focus goes there, which will include minting, of course, of NFT on BSC. Yes, that's like in the first update included.
Awesome, that's exciting stuff. Well, that's about all I had. Did you anything else you wanted to go over or talk about?
No, thanks for having me. It was great. I think we talked about all the important stuff, and yeah, I hope I could excite some people. If you ever, this goes out to the community, if you ever have any questions, you can just hop in our Telegram and tag one of the team members or ask the community itself.
And I'll have links to all your stuff in the.
That's cool. That's super, because we try to stay close to the community as much as we can. We have to work a lot. We're not sleeping a lot, but answering questions is a very important part for us. And because no project, you can't have the best product in the world if your community isn't there, you're useless. So supporting our community is a very, very important part for us.
Yeah, like I said, I really like any project that is bringing things to the masses and then breaking those technological barriers, to make things easier for people to use, and at the same time making those same tools better. It's really cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Thanks. That's the goal. That's the goal.
I'd like to have you on again, later on.
Thanks.
In the year, beginning of next year, see how everything's going after the launch. It'll be awesome.
That sounds very nice. Yes, of course, that would be great. I'm always happy to hop back on and talk on. I can do that for hours.
All right. Well, everybody, remember to crush the like button. Check out the links below to check out Kanaloa. It's good hanging out with you.
Thanks, man.
See you all in the next video.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.